We had a great opportunity to have Dana and the Pismo Surfing Goats give us a great presentation. Hope you enjoy.
This started about 12 years ago, and I got Goatee, my first goat, and what's crazy is many are saying this is one of the greatest surfing goat books of our generation. So anyway, I put the same thing on the back of that book too. But yeah, no, I was actually, my folks actually separated 15 years ago. My dad moved to Oregon, my mom moved here in Pismo, or just moved houses here in Pismo. And then I came home, I was playing professional soccer for probably like 4 or 5 years. I played at Fresno State, played soccer there, and then I grew up with Doug, actually. He's 10 years age difference between us, but we grew up in Rancho Grande. We lived in Rancho Grande. My dad built a couple houses in Rancho Grande, and yeah, he just, yeah, we grew up, he saw me playing soccer on the streets for such a long period, and yeah. Hi, Chups, and sorry, this is Chupacabra. Chupacabra, with an H at the end. Bra. Chupacabra. Yeah. So I just got her recently. She's a new addition to the family. It was a gift. She's got a U on the side. Goat University. So yeah, these are the two I have right now. But I started off with Goatee, and it was such a funny story that I had to write a book about it. And yeah, I came home to kind of take care of my family, and you know, because my folks just separated, my heart was real broken from that, and I just came home and I was like, man, God, what do you want me to do? And He said, go home and love on your family, you know. And they were going through a couple years of separation, and then Dad moved, and I moved in with Mom, so I'm like late 20s, you know, just kind of helping her out, and yeah, I was like, man, she went away for the week, and I was like, man, I need to get a goat, you know, because there's so much poison oak in the backyard. I'm like, I kept getting it everywhere for months, and I was like, man, I need to get a goat. And so I ended up going to this, I borrowed her car, and I went to this goat yard in Lopez. There's a little goat farm, and I was like, man, I'm like, God, which goat should I get? And literally, like, I said that in my head, and literally Goatee walked right up to me. So she literally came right up and let me pet her and stuff. And there was like 100 goats there. And I don't know if you know Carl Grieb, but Grieb Ranch.
He just turned 95.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He's still going, man. He was like, hey, just go up there, round up the goats, and pick whichever one you want. And like herd them, and I'm like, what? I don't know how to herd goats. But he was hilarious, and so I just herded them all in, and Goatee just walked up to me, and he's like, yeah, if you don't want the goat, you could just make sure you feed her well and bring her back in a couple weeks, and you know, I'll buy her back from you. He was a real great guy, and I was like, oh, perfect, so I can give it a shot, you know. And so I put her in the car. You know, put her in the back seat of the car, and I'm heading towards home, and we stopped at a stoplight, and I looked to my left, and I'm like, people were just losing it. They're just losing it. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and I'm like, I just could not stop laughing. I was like, this is hilarious. Like, I never would have thought I would do this, you know. And it just made me laugh so hard that. And other people too, everywhere. I just started bringing her with me everywhere because she just brought joy to so many people. And I was actually, the story talks about I was going to eat her. I was going to actually barbecue her because I used to live in Africa. I lived in Africa for a year and a half. And I lived in Mozambique in South Africa. I played professional soccer there. And I was gonna eat her, so my illustrator put her on a barbecue pit, you know. So, because we used to eat goat in Mozambique in South Africa quite regularly, and it was pretty good. But so my friends from Mozambique were coming in, and they're like, yeah, I was like, what better way to just kind of celebrate with them, and I had her to clear up the poison oak and the property, and then I had her for a couple months, and I was gonna eat her with my friends from South Africa that came into town, and I was like, perfect timing. We're having like a retreat type of thing, and yeah, I named her Goatee because she's long goatee, and I just couldn't. I couldn't, of course, barbecue her at that point, but man, she brought a lot of joy to me, and that's why I wrote a book about it, because I'm like, wow, this was really special. Yeah.
Don't eat the backpack.
The backpack. Yeah. So, anyhow, well, yeah. I thought I'd read maybe just a little part of it, just to kind of, just a funny, or maybe show you maybe some pics at the back. But this is kind of the story. And then that's what Goatee had. Goatee begat Pismo. Pismo was for my firstborn, the son. So that's Pismo, and this is Pismo on a wave right here. So yeah, we caught. Pismo was the natural surfer. He was pretty gifted, and so
okay.
So yeah, I'd go away to a country to do some mission stuff, work, love on the people, and I'd come back and she's pregnant. You know, so she's pregnant because I left her with Breeb. And so she just got pregnant, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then that's when she had Pismo the kid. So Surfing Goatee featuring Pismo the kid. So yeah, and so I started taking Pismo at an early age surfing. And do you guys want to see a video of Pismo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys seen it, Pismo?
No. I think the city should buy the business. Okay. Good business.
Could be kind of a mascot, right?
A mascot, you ready?
Oh,
That's good.
That's cute.
Oh gosh.
Until you see the soup and the smell.
You know, and I just knew it was time for him to get in the water. After seeing him surfing a couple times, I just knew he was a natural. It was obvious, you know. And after he come out, he just like, I was like, man, this guy, he wants to be a big wave surfer.
It's kind of a joke. A video. It's fun. Big wave surfer.
Yeah, he loves to surf. Loving to surf.
I heard of taking your kid to work. But
He's taking big waves.
Bad jokes.
How I trained him was just.
Does the goat need to have that life jacket?
Probably not. He's a natural swimmer. Yeah.
Hold his breath underwater.
There he is.
now is this special made or is it
Yeah. Custom made. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't worry about it.
You don't buy that off the rack?
They have it in Filipino boutiques.
Oh.
Yeah, the thing surf
Dream of catching waves like that in a contest.
This was during a contest.
He pulled it off.
It's not really fair holding on to that rope and staying on the board.
I knew right now he's living his dream.
So yeah, he's living my dream.
yeah, that's right.
He's living my dream. Yeah. So yeah, that was Pismo, and Pismo was his name. So yeah, that's when I came up with this idea because I surfed with him so much. I ended up, I don't know if you can see that huge board on my car, but it's like
Sure.
you have like 6 to 8 people on there and a goat, and it's just like a party. You know? And so this book, this was inspired by this book. That's what inspired me to write this book, because I was like, man, where 2 or more are gathered on a wave, there I am. Like, there, God is with us, and there's the party right there. So it's like, yeah. So it's just,
Oh my
it's
God.
just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
So, and of course named Pismo after Pismo Beach, and Grover after Grover Beach, and Grover had a sister named Shell, so I had Shell too.
Yeah.
And
Goatees surf too.
Goatee
Did they
was
all
the-
surf?
She was the OG, yeah, she's the
Yeah,
first.
right.
Yeah, but Pismo was the
The
greatest
best.
of all time.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this is, yeah, that's kind of what inspired me. I thought I'd read a couple lines of this because it's kind of funny. It goes, oh Pismo, what a crazy goat. Leave anything on the front seats too long, it will be down his throat. No matter how many times you tell him Piz no, his name speaks for itself, and Piz always wants mo. And so it just goes on to show all the things he eats. A banana, an apple, peach or plum, popcorn, pizza, and a whole pack of gum. Ice cream or cookies, crackers or nuts. Bread or a sandwich or somebody's lunch. And this is my the funnest one. The kids love this one. Into his 4 stomachs, he chews and he chews. And out come hundreds and hundreds of perfect shaped poos. So, and this is my illustrator. This is the circumference of a goat poo right here. So anyway, I worked with an illustrator that helped me. He wrestled at Cal Poly, a good friend of mine, but he did a great job. He made me really old in this book, and like in my 70s, I think, in 80s in that book, made me look real old, and then he made me look really ripped. Ripped in this book. So, like, just make me look like me. That was
Jesus was right.
Not crazy. But anyways, this is like the Michelangelo type hand of God type reaching for the goat. Yeah, so anyways, that was what inspired writing these 2 books. Just life with goats, you know? And yeah.
Do the goats ever surf alone, or do you have to be with them all the time?
Yeah, you know, sometimes I'll push them in alone, but they like to be with me. That's why they're out there, you know?
Okay.
They're pretty connected, you know, like I built like a lot of love and trust, so they're like, okay, if he's out here, I don't have to be so scared of water, and I'm not gonna die, you know? Because they're pretty naturally afraid of water, you know, so, yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Especially that much, right? It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
vast. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
a
For
lake
sure.
or
It's a little unique.
creek.
They're not used to it, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah. And so I just started taking Chupacabra out for recently, and she's a real hoot. She's funny, and I took her on my board like Pismo kind of thing, and she's got the gift.
She does.
She's got the gift. Yeah.
What do you call her for short?
Chups.
Chups.
Chups or Chewy or
Chewy.
Brah. Brah. Yeah, brah. What's that, brah?
Me.
What's that, brah?
Follow me.
They know.
Yeah, so this one's like a lap goat. She'll just like literally sit in my lap for like 20 minutes and just lick me like a salt lick. Like she's pretty funny. If you bottle feed them, they can be like real attached. Yeah, you know, I didn't bottle feed them, but they can be real attached to
And
humans.
did you have dogs growing up, or did you have any real connection with animals?
You know,
other than a like?
yeah, when I was a kid, I had a couple dogs,
Yeah.
but I don't know what got me in. I think just because the poison oak.
Yeah.
I wanted to help my mom out, clear the poison oak out, and got attached, and never went back.
And it was a way to get.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any issues with like PETA or any groups
goodness.
giving you crap about it?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, not PETA, but more just so-called animal lovers.
Angry people.
You know, yeah, angry people. But yeah, I think they.
They look so abused.
Yeah, I've only drowned none of them. I've only drowned none of them so far. So.
You know what
Yeah.
PETA stands for, don't you?
PETA, what is it? stand
People eating tasty animals.
for? People eat. That's funny.
Thanks so much, Sean. In the South, this would be making waves here.
Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of my story. But yeah,